Men on Her Mind from 1944 was a PRC film that featured Mary Beth Hughes as the character Lily Durrell, a singer that everyone is crazy about. Everywhere she goes, there's some fella who's just ready to marry her. Well, this was really an interesting one. I saw the title for the film, and I saw that it had Mary Beth Hughes and thought, I gotta check this one out. Well, the film opens up with her at a club, singing a musical number, when she's visited by the character Roland Palmer, played by actor Alan Edwards. He's a little bit older than her, but he's apparently the first of the guys in this film that wants to marry her, because his sister has just given approval, of course. But Lily seems reluctant. Well, he leaves, and she's soon visited by another guy, Jeffrey Wingate, played by Edward Norris. He's a smooth character who seems puzzled as to why Lily apparently doesn't seem to love him anymore simply because she thinks he might be a jewel thief. But he sets her straight that no, he isn't. And then he leaves. And then a third guy appears, Jim Lacey, played by actor Ted North, who heard her radio broadcast and just had to go and track her down to tell her that he's working on starting his own band and making it big with music. And he'd like to take a walk with her later that night because, of course, he's in love with her too. So, just getting into the film, we've established that the men on her mind are guy number 1, Roland, who's old and rich, guy number 2, Jeffrey, who's a suave fellow who might be a jewelry thief, and guy 3, Jim, the young, easygoing fellow who's fond of music. They all love her, so what's a girl to do? Well, back to her vanity mirror she goes, where she reads a letter from Mother Goodwin, actress Claire McDowell, and is reminded of her upbringing in an orphanage. And this leads us in the film to a series of flashbacks. So we take a look at her past, where she, as a young woman, has grown up and is leaving the orphanage that she grew up in, and she's off to make it in the world. She says her goodbyes to Mother Goodwin, and check this out. I don't think I've ever seen a fade out, fade in to the same two people. So she just sort of leaves with no clear plan in mind, it would seem, and she ends up hitching a ride with a sketchy but likable trucker named Big Joe Monroe, played by actor Lyle Littell. And after getting to know her, he seems determined to help her out with getting a job, working at a laundry with his sister. Now later, they're having dinner together with family, and we see that Joe's place is a noisy madhouse, and clearly she's not having a great time. I can't see why.
You kids, stop that infernal racket.
Do you want to wake up little Elmer?
We ain't making any more noise in the radio.
Now don't you be impudent, Willie. I'll take a stick to you. Soft pedal that radio, will you, Frank?
Yeah.
Well, Lily declines Big Joe's offer of marriage and leaves, and soon she's off to an audition with Dude Garfield, a nightclub owner with no actor apparently listed on IMDb, so I guess he was just an uncredited extra, but anyhow, he listens to her play the piano and sing, and he seems really impressed with her singing. But then he leaves for a minute to go talk with an angry woman who abruptly shoots and kills him with no explanation given. Don't you hate when that happens? Well, Lily discovers what has happened, and thinking she might be falsely accused of this crime, she quickly leaves and heads off to secretarial school, where she ends up taking dictation from the character of Roland Palmer, the old guy from before. And of course, he's fallen for her and wants to help pay for her music lessons, and also marry her as well. However, Roland's sister, Eloise Palmer, played by Kay Lineker, visits Lily later and suspects that she's just after his money, which she isn't, but she doesn't understand that, and she wants Lily out of town. Well, Lily is ready to leave. She's going to get on a bus, and it's here that she meets the character Jeffrey Wingate. So this is the smooth character from earlier who helps her rethink running away and helps her get a job as a singer at a club. And it seems she's fallen for him. Lily sings another tune, and soon Jeffrey returns to reveal that the whole murder thing from earlier that took place a few scenes ago, it's all been resolved, and they found the woman who actually shot Dude Garfield, so her name is clear. So the unresolved subplot has been resolved. Well, he takes her to a spooky old mansion that night that he claims is his. He retrieves some jewelry from a safe and then gives it to her and then proposes. But wouldn't you know it, the next day, Lily is reading in the newspaper about a phantom jewel thief who has stolen a diamond bracelet, one that looks just like the one that she has. Well, she flees again and somehow winds up at a girls' school where she is now the gym teacher. And we see her instructing some lessons set to music. And you know what? Gym class back in the 1940s was really weird. Now it's here that she meets the third guy, Jim Lacey, played by Ted North, who is another teacher at the school. And of course, he falls in love with her pretty much instantly. He writes a song for her to sing as he plays on the piano, and he was thinking of her the entire time he wrote it, he says. Well, just when things are starting to seem very romantic between the two, she is told there's a visitor, and it's Roland Palmer, the old guy from earlier, and he has a singing job for her. So she tells Jim goodbye. I mean, he just confessed his love for her and wants to marry her, and she puts him in the friend zone. You don't think I'd give up a musical career for a music professor? Wow, okay. Well, as we near the end of this short film, what is Lily to do? All these guys seem ready to marry her. Who will she decide to be with? Well, you need to watch the ending for yourself to find out. Anyhow, some closing thoughts. Men on Her Mind was a 1944 PRC musical drama. It was directed by Wallace Ford, and the screenplay was by Raymond L. Schrock. My thoughts on the film is, look, this one it's a little soapy, it's a melodrama, but it's still entertaining, if only for Mary Beth Hughes. Here's the thing about Mary Beth Hughes as an actress, is she was undeniably an adorable actress, but how to put this? She would play that slightly dizzy, head in the clouds type of character, but she could do it perfectly. She's the kind of performer who might not always have the deepest thoughts and dialogue, but who still manages to steal the scene with her warmth, her charm, and sparkle, I think. She's been in numerous films I've seen on this channel. I think the first being The Great Flammarion, which was one of PRC's biggest films. But I remember her notably as Michael Shane's sweetheart during Lloyd Nolan's run as that character. Now, what can I say? Mary Beth Hughes is magnetic, lovely, and just seems real in the films that she's in. It's a kind of actress you enjoy watching, even when the movie that she's in is forgettable. And Men on Her Mind isn't a classic by any stretch, but it's a fun, brief watch, and I always like films that use that old flashback device, of the character. They start the story, they're in the present, and then they start thinking back to events in the past. And we see how those scenes influence where they are in the present, and they help bring us up to speed as the viewer. And yes, maybe this type of device works better in crime films, but I still think it's a success here in this drama and unfolding the story. So, yeah, it's a little simple, it's a little breezy, but I still had fun watching this movie. And just a couple little background notes before I wrap up. Ted North, who played Jim Lacey in the film, the young guy that was into music, he was actually married to actress Mary Beth Hughes in real life from 1943 until their divorce in 1947. So they would have been married when this film was made. So if you haven't seen the film, maybe that gives you a clue as to how the film ends. And the actress Kay Lineker, who played the overprotective sister Eloise Palmer, in real life she used her married name Kate Phillips as a screenwriter, with one of her writing credits notably being for the cult film The Blob from 1958. She is actually credited with coining the name The Blob for the movie, which was originally just going to be called The Molten Meteor. Beware of the blob, it creeps and leaps and glides and slides across the floor. Okay, sorry. So that's Men on Her Mind from 1944. It's a cute musical drama with Mary Beth Hughes and the many different fellas who all seem interested in her romantically. Look, let's be honest, there's nothing too substantial here. It's just an enjoyable, romantic musical. Mary Beth Hughes makes it worth watching. It's a cute film. It's worth checking out.